And Ari, this was your 2013. This is what you lived, and yet there was still a sense. On the one hand, people know what voter suppression is, right? They sort of know, and yet there was a lot of discussion about sort of, are these efforts about protecting the right to vote and the sanctity of it, or are they about suppression? And there is a new article. It's an academic piece. I want to be really clear. It's an academic piece written by the University of Massachusetts at Boston sociologist and a political scientist. And the Washington Post, sort of posted it on their Monkey Cage blog. But it just demonstrates empirically, right? No ideology here, that in states where African Americans turned out to vote in big numbers, in the next year, you start seeing legislative efforts for voting rights restrictions.
Well, there was 180 bills introduced in 41 states after the 2008 election to restrict voting rights. What happened in 2008? The first African-American president was elected. So it didn't take much to put two and two together. I mean, I really think this was the worst year for voting rights since 1877, when federal troops pulled out of the South and ended Reconstruction. I'm not saying it's a similar situation, because it's very, very different now. But if you look at, southern states are reacting in the same way. When the troops left the South, they say, okay, we can go back to doing what we did before, which was discriminating against people at the ballot box. And now they're saying basically the same thing. I mean, in North Carolina, in Texas, and remember, this was an off-year election. So most state legislatures weren't in there. Right. Most elections weren't happening. So really, we're going to see the effect of the Supreme Court's decision in 2014, next year. All these southern state legislatures are coming back. They know they don't have to clear their changes with the federal government anymore. They know that if they change a polling place, if they do some crazy redistricting, if they change a law right before an election, it's going to be very hard to challenge it now. So 2014 is going to be critical. If we want the next year to be a year of enfranchisement, not disenfranchisement, there's going to be a lot we have to pay attention to.